Hey there, this video is part of a full online course right here on YouTube called Tofu Mastery. So I highly recommend starting from the very first lesson, which you can find here. Otherwise, let's get to it. Hey there, welcome back. In this video, I'm gonna teach you the best barbecue bourbon tofu. We make it in the oven. We're gonna jazz up a barbecue sauce, but also give you a simplified version for your daily meals. It's gonna be great. I'm using 2 blocks of tofu today. I'm going to cut these into 4 steaks. So I'm going to go down like so. I've got 2 of my steaks here and the same with the second block. If you like these steaks to be a little bit thinner, you can maybe get 3 out of each block, but I like these chunky and it's gonna give us space for slicing these up in a way, which I'm gonna show you now. I'm gonna create a crisscross pattern in these. It's gonna really add texture when it comes out of the oven, and it's gonna let the marinade seep into the block of tofu. So I'm gonna take my knife and I'm gonna go down on the diagonal, but I'm not gonna take it all the way through. We still want the base intact so that it holds its shape. So this is what that first cut looks like. Now I'm gonna go on the opposite diagonal and create my crisscross. I've placed them in a casserole dish and I'm just gonna set this aside while I mix together my marinade. We're doing a very simple, basic marinade. So we're adding some soy sauce. You can use tamari soy sauce if you wanna keep this gluten-free. I'm adding some garlic powder, some dried thyme, and a few cracks of black pepper. We're not adding any salt because the soy sauce is already salty. Let's whisk this together. This packs a ton of flavor. Go ahead and spoon that over your pieces of tofu. We created all of those slits, so we'd better use those up. Use your fingers to very carefully open up the tofu and let some of that marinade seep in. And we're just gonna let this sit and marinate for whatever amount of time you have. So it can be just the time that it's gonna take you to create the sauce that we're gonna make. You can do it overnight as well if you have the time and you wanna get this out of the way. Whatever time you have will be great. We're about to jazz up a barbecue sauce, and whenever you want to completely simplify this recipe, you can simply use a straight out of the bottle barbecue sauce that you love, and it will save you all of these steps that I'm gonna take now. However, this barbecue sauce that we're jazzing up, it's so good. Before we start, preheat your oven to 435 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 225 Celsius. And in a small pot, we're gonna add some barbecue sauce. Any barbecue sauce you love and enjoy is gonna be the base. I'm gonna add some orange juice. Freshly squeezed is always best. I'm gonna add some maple syrup to add to the sweetness and the flavor, as well as some brown sugar, because that's gonna add that molasses taste that is gonna play with these flavors in such a great way. Next up, my favorite ingredient in this jazzed up sauce, some Kentucky bourbon. So good for cooking. Now you can skip it if you don't want to use alcohol in the recipe, but it really adds lots of layers of flavor. Next, I'm gonna add some balsamic vinegar, and this is gonna add that tang to this barbecue sauce that is so special. Last but not least, some garlic cloves, which I'm going to grate into the sauce. You can use 1 or 2 if you're like me and you love the taste of garlic. I've turned on the heat on high and we're gonna bring this to a boil. I'm gonna go ahead and whisk everything so that everything is well incorporated. And as soon as it comes to a boil, we're gonna lower to medium-low and let this sauce reduce for about 15 minutes while our tofu is marinating. As you can see, our sauce has thickened quite a bit with that reduction. I'm gonna give it a taste. Oh my goodness. That is totally different from the sauce you get out of the bottle. So now I'm gonna place my tofu pieces in a parchment-lined baking sheet and I'm going to spoon the sauce on top. Now you won't be using all of the sauce. We're gonna have some left over to serve on the side as well. Now I love to see the crisscross pattern a little bit. So open it up slightly. The oven will do the rest of the work, but just help it along. Let's pop this in our preheated oven. We're going to roast these babies for an initial 20 minutes, and halfway through, we're going to brush or spoon a little bit more of that sauce on top, and then I'll show you. We're about to pop these in for the final 10 minutes, but I want you to lower the heat of the oven to 410 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 210 Celsius. The reason we do this is because this is reduced enough that we're gonna have a lot of caramelization and we don't want it burning. So one final brushing of the sauce and back in the oven for the final 10 minutes. You're ready to serve your delicious barbecue tofu with a bit of that extra barbecue sauce on the side. Serve with your favorite sides and enjoy. Oh my God, that is so good. The crust on the outside that forms because of that barbecue sauce, oh my lordy. Thanks for watching, everyone. In our next video, I'll be teaching you my signature tofu no egg salad bagels. They are so quick to make and very eggy.